So the gunman, Nasser Ahmed Tawadi, the shooter in DC that shot two National Guardsmen, both of which at the time of making this video are in critical condition. He was working with the CIA in Afghanistan, and he was one of 55 evacuees that were evacuated from Afghanistan during that time that were on the terrorist watch list and was evacuated anyway. There's hundreds more of Afghanis that were evacuated and weren't properly vetted. We don't know if they're terrorists or not. So he evacuated with the U.S. military, and all the while is a CIA, asset or whatever. He's a CIA, someone who worked alongside the CIA to do their operations there. And he's also a terrorist. Now, the CIA has a history of training terrorists. That's how the Mujahideen, the Taliban in Afghanistan, that's partly how they came to power. The CIA actually trained them to fight the Soviets in the 1980s. So it's nothing new that the CIA trains these guys. They do it for different reasons. They fight proxy wars. And yes, they do use terrorists. So this guy is a CIA-trained, someone who worked alongside that organization that was then brought into the United States, that is a terrorist. He was plotting a terrorist attack for years. He was planning originally to do a terrorist attack during Election Day, but instead he decided to open fire on National Guardsmen in Washington, D.C. Now, had he had more resources, he could have done a lot more damage. So there are so many things wrong with this. He's on the terrorist watch list, and he's moving about the country. He was let into the country while being on a terrorist watch list. Why? Why was he evacuated out of there? Could have been on purpose. I mean, he is working for the U.S. government, after all. But it just goes to show you all the shenanigans that goes on. When you have a corrupted government, when you have a CIA that trains terrorists to fight proxy wars, and some of that comes back to the United States, that's a problem. When you have a government that has so much bureaucracy that it can't keep track of who's who, that they let in alongside with the military, that they train and work with the CIA, and they know is a terrorist, and yet this guy was able to purchase firearms. Obviously, he got them on the black market, but still, it begs a lot of questions. And mind you, this happened during the Biden administration, okay? A lot of people were saying, hey, we shouldn't let all these people into the country. We don't know who these people are. Some of these people are terrorists. They're coming from the Middle East. They were wearing like insignia, like terrorist insignia, like Hezbollah or ISIS, that were coming into the country. And people like myself were called racists because of that. No, these are people that actually want to do harm to people here in the United States, because, Western values don't vibe very well with the radical wing of Islam. That's just a fact. People in the West, we're very open-minded. We will accept people as long as they're willing to work hard and live peacefully. But when you get certain groups of people that deliberately want to do harm to you, you can't live peacefully with them. You can't, give them the same benefit of the doubt. So when somebody like this guy, and I've repeated it over and over again, they knew who this guy was and they brought him in anyway. And there's several more like him too, by the way. Okay? So, like I said, we have a big government, we have a corrupted government, and, there's been a lot of cause to look into that. What happened is tragic, but I think we need to look at the institutions that allowed this to happen.